coming back to your specific point, look at our 13 committees. If there's something you're interested in, the committee chair is there. Talk to them about sitting in on a meeting. They're open meetings, they're not closed. And you know, if you're they all meet during these next days. There may be some overlap on Saturday and Sunday with your meetings, unfortunately, but many of them have an additional meeting during the week. And see if it turns you on. You may, after sitting through that meeting, say thanks, but let me see if I can find another one. But the point is, if you're interested in that, if your professional interest is in that area, I think the committee chair will welcome that. And tell them I said so, and they'll come to me and say, what did you just do? But anyway, see if there's something you're interested in, and then explore joining. We add people to the committees. They don't like to have them too big. They may say fairly that when they go through the role of selecting papers for the Congress, that you won't be a part of that selection process, because they may say, look, you know, we need people who've had an awful lot of experience in the profession to judge their peers as to whether or not we pick a paper or not. Or they may say, how would you like to help organize that selection process? You be the rapporteur, you know, you keep score for us. And so you have a role, but you're not doing the evaluation. But anyway, try that, and if it doesn't work, come back to me.
Like, I'm still not a professional. I'm still a student. So
there's no formal distinction. The only point is, and this is really the rule hasn't been followed too closely, members of a committee should be sponsored by an IAF member organization. Should have a home somewhere, okay? Either your company or your agency or your university. So we probably need to keep that limit. And so if you can't identify with an IAF member, then you may just want to volunteer a little bit and not be a formal member. Once you have an IAF member as your sponsor, then you should be eligible.
Past IAC, I recall the Workspace Congress, and helped in this generation by allowing us to present the outputs of this weekend in the IAC. For example, we used to represent some papers and authoring. How is that continuing? How can we collaborate and show the output of this weekend in the IAC while not having these papers made beforehand, since we're done, we're making them now, or just a presentation or late in the session or whatnot?
Well, this year, clearly, it's too late. In the future, that's something we can take on to explore finding a time for an output session. The real difficulty is the one I mentioned earlier. We're at a point now, we start, remember we're in Spain. Things don't begin real early here in Spain, and they go quite late. Our technical program starts at 8:30 in the morning, and it goes to roughly 7 o'clock at night already. And there are sessions over the luncheon hour in some cases. So we really, the real problem is time. But if there's an interest in having a spot sometime during the IAC, that's something we can take on. You all should talk about this and come to us with a proposal. Give us lots of flexibility in how we do it. And you can come to me, also to our executive director, Philip Willikins, who some of you know from the IAF student program. And we'll be receptive. We'll do the best we can to find something for you.
And as an editorial, we have had groups the next year actually take what they've done, work on it continuously during the year, and one of their outputs is the next year they would have a paper presented at IAC saying, here's what we came up with at the conference last year, here's what we've done up to this point, and here's our plan going forward. So either way, you can make that happen.
Yeah, if you're doing it as a single paper, it's easier, but I sense you wanted something a little bit more, a little higher profile, and we'll do what we can to accommodate it. I'd like that very much. Welcome.
Yes, this is Zimmerman, is closer to the people, and my question is related to your local organizing committee. You mentioned that you're planning every time a year ahead, so I would highly appreciate if you can briefly give us a rundown of how the committee is organize, and when do you start actually to plan your outreach program? Because you have every year a wonderful outreach program where the state invites the official international astronomical conference. And in this regard, like you briefly mentioned, we would also appreciate because the space generation would help the IAC. And we also certainly would be grateful to help the IAC in this regard. And you can use the resources of the space generation also at the same time.
For the, you're speaking from the point of view of the Valencia LLC?
Yeah, but also in the future, like Korea will be in 2008, also would be wonderful that because it's certainly need more people from Asia.
Right.
Point of contact.
Well, first of all, we really appreciate the our LOC here has been just great. They've worked very, very hard, and we appreciate everything they've done. We did arrange for, from our standpoint, the SGC is under the umbrella of the IAC, and so we arranged for your president to be with us in February when we met with the LOC, and we encourage any opportunities for outreach. And we'll do the same in Korea, China, or Czechoslovakia when we get to one of those places. And by the way, we may get to all of them, it just won't be in this case in 2009. But I'm not sure if I fully understood your question, but we're very positive to using and building the connection between the SGC and the SGAC and the LOC, and promoting the outreach.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm particularly interested in how your local organizing committee is organized. Is it an ad hoc committee? And I assume you're planning like 1 year ahead?
Yeah. No, I see. Sorry for not understanding fully. No, this is first of all, it's a huge job. And what you do initially is you put together a bid. It's becoming similar to the Olympics in a very small sense, of course. But you put together a bid 3 or 4 years in advance. For 2010, we will announce the candidacy, the opening of the call for bids, probably in January or February of next year. So it's a full 3 years in advance. But you probably want to anticipate it well before that. In a country that doesn't have a lot of involvement in the IAF and the SGC and so forth, you want to get involved before that to be sure you want your eyes wide open as to what's happening and so forth. So you have a feeling, you want to be on the committees, the technical committees and so forth. And then you put together a very, very good proposal. The criteria in the call for proposals are extremely detailed, they're very transparent, they're very, very detailed, and there are a lot of requirements that have to be met, down to the operating system of the computers in the offices that are provided. It's all there, and that we have SMTP settings for the outgoing mail. I mean, we've tried to make it very transparent but very clear. And so we actually have the current year's criteria for the selection we'll make on Friday already on the web, and we'll publish updated criteria for next year. So then you submit. You go through an evaluation process with an initial bid and an updated bid. We have a committee of independent experts who evaluate and make the recommendation. People on those committees, on that committee, are the people who organized the past Congresses. They know where all the problems are. They're also very sympathetic to the proposals because they realize that this isn't an easy thing to do, but they see through nice words that haven't been well thought out. So formally, it's 3 years before. Informally, it could be 4 or 5 years or even more. And then the committees in each case are different.